Hello movie readers, today I'll be showing you some of my vintage novelization pickups. Most of them are actually from real shops, surprisingly. Either they are charity shops or from second-hand dealers, most of which have all bought for less than £2, sometimes a little bit more, but none of them went above £5. These first four novelizations that I'll show you came from a shop on Elm Hill in Norwich called the Dormouse. Elm Hill is probably best regarded as one of the old streets in Norwich, and also used to film a scene in Stardust featuring Claire Danes. So first up I have a couple of gold medal books, as they were called, Gold Medal Giant. This one is Tempest by R.V. Cassill. This is probably the oldest one that I've got in this little pickup video. And you can see there the Dino De Laurentiis movie starring Sylvia Mangano and a few other people I don't recognise. Great little cover on there. I think this was published in 1959. Yep, February 59. It's that one. The next one is Sodom and Gomorra. The last days of Sodom and Gomorra, I should say. Written by Richard Wormser, based on the new motion picture. Starring Stuart Granger, Stanley Baker, and a few other names. Another gold medal book. I think this one was published in the early 60s, 62, so both of these do not contain any inserts at all of colour pictures or black and white due to the production costs at the time of producing images. The next one's That Magnificent Air Race by John Burke. I do believe this was called Those Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines, or How I Flew to London to Paris in 25 hours and 11 minutes in America. But I believe this was the UK date, and this was published by Pan Books. Now in this one, I believe when was this published? 65, and this one does actually feature some stills from the movie in black and white, which is probably the earliest one I've got with stills in it. That's very good. And lastly from that shop, Mel Books, film Young Frankenstein, a novel by Gilbert Perlman. It's a nice little copy. This is published by Star Books. United Kingdom, 50p, they were the days. And we have some stills inside, unusually, in the inside cover, as well as stills from the movie in the centre in black and white. Great stuff. Next I have this, Moment by Moment, starring Lily Tomlin and John Travolta, published by Futura. And I came across this one and the next couple of books that I will show you from Undercover Books in Norwich, which is a great bookshop if you enjoy vintage paperbacks. Always worth a look if you ever make your way into Norwich for whatever reason. Maybe you're going to come and see our lovely cathedral or castle. So this film bombed in the box office. It almost sunk his career, John Travolta's, if it wasn't for the fact that he had filmed Grease the same year. This was 1978, I think this was. Not a popular film and not a popular book, this one. 1978. Remained a mark at the bottom. Does have some stills in the centre, most of which are just Lily Tomlin and John Travolta gazing upon each other. Not the best movie stills, not the best movie. Next one I also have is Damian Omen 2, published by Futura. This was written by Joseph Howard. No stills in the centre. I think this was, when was this published? 1978, but this is a 1979 reprint. And lastly, from Undercover Books, China Syndrome. This is apparently quite a good film. And this was written by Burton Wall, based on the screenplay by Mike Gray and T.S. Cook and James Bridges. No colour inserts on the inside, however we do have some pictures from the film on the back. And a cast photo on the front, very young Michael Douglas and Jane Fonda. And is that Walter Matthau? I can't remember. Looks a bit like him. Any clue on the back? Any clue in the inside? Oh, Jack Lemmon. Oh, there we go. I knew it was an old style actor. This was published in, I think, 78. Let me have a look. No. Copyright 78, published by Corky Books in 79. The next two are from second-hand bookshops around Norfolk. This one's The Deer Hunter by E.M. Corder, starring Robert De Niro. I like the way they put De Niro's name in great big letters, almost the same size as the title. Knowing full well after the success of Taxi Driver that this would sell, probably be a bigger selling point than the title. A little bit scuffed and beaten up. Published by Coronet Books in the UK in 1978. Quite a cool cover, I like that one. I also have Brief Encounter, published by Star Books. This was a novel written by Alec Waugh. I do believe he's quite a prolific novel writer, and this is his only novelisation. No colour stills. Instead we get a picture of Sophia Loren and Richard Burton on the front. Online purchase next. We have David Cronenberg's Scanners. This was written by Leon Whiteson. Love the cover of this. Nice picture. And on the back we have a minor spoiler there. Probably the most famous scene in the film. This was published by Granada in 1981, so I am pushing the definition of vintage a little bit. I do believe the definition of vintage book is 40 years or older. Saw this online for a pretty good price. Have to grab them while you can. Another online purchase. This is a reprint, Squirm, by Richard Curtis. Lovely picture there. Story of man eating worms. Nice cover on the front. This was published in, let me have a look, published by Spear Books. This was a 1980 reprint, but it was first published in 1976. I was going to buy the Encyclopocalypse reissue of this, which is due to come out. I'll put some details on the side there with a picture of the new cover. But I noticed online that it's actually cheaper to buy it as a vintage original, so I went for that instead. Lastly, I have Hardcore, starring George C. Scott. Now, this is a novelisation written by Leonard Schrader. It's in lovely condition. Now, this was purchased by All You Need Is Books, which are a brilliant online retailer of paperbacks. You pay slightly more for their postage. However, if I could show you, if I had it still, they brilliantly package their books when they send them out to you, sandwiched between two pieces of cardboard to stop them from being mashed. This was first published in 1979. This looks like a third impression, probably one reason why it's in such good condition. Do like the cover of this, and I have saved this to my watch list because I intend to watch it at some point. It sounds like it's a precursor to the Liam Neeson film Taken. Now, I purchased this. Again, this is also available by Encyclopocalypse if you want the reprint. They have republished that a few years ago with their own cover on the front. However, I saw this online for pretty much the same price and thought I'd have to have it. Much prefer the vintage copy. That is it for now. Next video I shall be showing you some of the more recent, more modern novelizations. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much and goodbye.